Dark versus Hero. I cannot help but feel like Hero should have won that series. I cannot help but feel that Hero lost that series more than Dark won it, because his builds game 1, game 2 were rather nonsensical, and he had a couple really dumb moves game 5. But regardless, Dark won. He won the entire tournament, so I can't be all that mad. Ah, you're safely home. And the hype train. Choo-choo! So actually now 47ness, you're back. That means I can bug you for the emote that you're making for me. I'm very 47ness sent me the sketches last week, sometime before Valencia, because we're gonna have a Protoss door emote, and I'm excited. I'll pull up the image after this game. But anyways, PvT on Waterfall. So Waterfall, it's a shorter map. It actually is really scary for these 2.5 base Terran pushes. Because the Terran can wedge their way in between the natural and the third base location, regardless of what the third base is that the Protoss decides to go for. And then it's really hard because you're going down a ramp both ways. Oh, nice. Congratulations, Foshers. None of my friends that I would ever be considered a best man for are getting married anytime soon. Because everyone is a graduate student. Not necessarily where I go, but everyone's a grad student. I was like, what is this having a life? What is this, having a significant other? I guess their significant others. I mean, okay, that's not fair. Claire's, I love my girlfriend, but our significant others are research. But anyway, again, folks, I'm sorry for the FPS lag. This is the clean feed. I'm not dropping any rendering frames on my side. But, okay, so where do we go from here? Gumiho on a 1-base setup. He's got Factor on the way. Now there's a command center, of course, but going 1-1 into a command center does open a lot of aggressive options. Whether this is going to be Widowmine drops, or I should say whether it's going to be cloaked Widowmine drops, some sort of Hellion drops. And in fact, getting that single Hellion tells us this is most likely going to be Widowmine drops, oddly enough. Normally it's going to be reactored Hellions if it's going to be a Hellion drop. No, Laracidon. Claire understands that, let's see, robots are my number 1. Excel is my number 2. And then there's Claire. But anyway, the Reapers, they're going to find their way up on the high ground, not really see all that much. And for a while there, Excel was above her too when I was working with that a lot. But it's okay. We appreciate the meme. Anyway, Blink on the way now here for Cyan, as I believe he is on. I believe this is 2-gate Blink, so he's going to look for a decently timed expand. And this is interesting because we're looking at 3 Reaper, 2 Hellion, and they're going to find a bunch of adepts here. Now, 1 Hellion will go down immediately, but we're going to see actually retreating back to the high ground to the shield battery. This should not really get that much of anything. But the question now is what happens with the medevac. Actually, I don't see medevac on my preview necessarily. Wait, no, did he even get a medevac? I don't think he did. Wait, so Reaper Hellion into the natural. They're going to try to dive in once again with a shield battery. It's just getting nothing done. But this Banshee play behind this, I'm sorry. I just assumed this was going to be some sort of drop. And, well, totally neglected the possibility of Banshee play. But we have a Banshee. It's done now for Gumiho. Now, of course, there's a shield battery in the natural at least. I don't remember whether I saw the main base. But you pair up a Banshee with a Raven. That is a lot of harass potential. But now Cyan on the other side of the map. Here's the question. Can he get counter damage? He's going to find a Cyclone. Well, actually, he's going to dodge the Cyclone in the middle of the map. A Cyclone's going to find it now, which means one of these Adepts is going to be dead rather quickly. And, well, Adept Shade is going to do something on the high ground. Can he get the other one? No, he cannot. But you kill one Adept. That already takes the one-shot potential away from the Marines. Or takes the potential for Cyan to one-shot Marines. And one-shot SCVs. So where is our Banshee? Looks like, is that a Reaper? Yeah, that's a Reaper on the other side. And actually, I think the Banshee may have been canceled. I think Gumiho said, you know what? No Banshee anymore. We're just gonna go for a Raven. And I mean that seems fair. But Raven doesn't really do a lot for you against any sort of blink stock or pressure. Luckily, of course, Cyan is on, for now, 2-gate blink stock, or 2 more gateways are on the way. Charge as well. He's not really going up to high tech right now because he understands that this is Gumiho, and Gumiho committed a lot to the early game, so he's got to make sure that he gets something done. He's got to find some level of damage because the Cyan's third base up. He's up 6 workers. He doesn't even need a mine. Actually, he is on 4 gas, so he will eventually move on up to higher tech. But he doesn't really need to, or he doesn't really need to mine a ton of gas for what he's doing, so he can just have a lower worker count. But it's 3-1-1 here for Gumiho. He'll be ready in about a minute and a half. And the question now is whether Cyan will be ready. I notice what Gumiho's doing. I mean, the Raven is not the best thing for dealing with this type of style, right? You can armor shred, sure, but that's about it. I mean, auto turrets don't really do a whole lot in these fights. But it does provide vision to knock down observers, which means stalkers can't really get a lot done in the main base. Is now Raven into the natural, has gotten 2 workers to start. Gonna force a probe pull, which is lost mining time, even if it doesn't do anything. And now into the main base is Cyan paying attention here. Auto turret getting it to get dropped right in the middle of. No, it's not. Okay. Okay, so third base on the way for Gumiho. Looks like he's going to want to take the triangular one eventually. Did a Raven just die? I thought I saw a red flash on the other side of the map. Like Gumiho, I got to assume the Raven's still in the corner, but it kind of looked like from what I saw on the minimap, it did kind of look like Gumiho F2'd. Vermont mountain towns. Depends on what you want to do, for sure. Stowe is really cool because they have the Von Trapp family brewery. So if you know Sound of Music, the Von Trapps from the Sound of Music, they settled in Stowe, Vermont, and they have a restaurant and a brewery there that they've had since, it's been in the family since World War II, and it is. It's on my list of places to go, but I haven't made the pilgrimage up to Stowe since I've lived up here. But it is apparently incredibly good beer and incredibly good German food. So, that's fun if you like hiking and mountain biking and whatever. There's the Mad River Glen area, but that's rather remote. I think MRG is much more of a, or the Mad River area is much more of a winter thing, because Mad River Glen's a really cool ski resort. Not a snowboarding resort specifically. But anyways, Stalker's on the map from Cyan, looking to zone out Gumiho. Gumiho, he kind of understands the build that his opponent has gone for. So while he had the timing with +1 stim, combat shields, the drill, he's not going to go for it. As the auto turret drops, another 4 workers. Yeah, it's going to get 4 workers. Oh, sure. Snowboarding is a choice. Okay. Oh, nice. What am I? There actually should not have burrowed. Friendly fire kills off 3 SCVs that would not have died otherwise. Now here comes the army of Cyan onto the third base, going to force a lift off, but the army of Gumiho again. It is powerful. Armor Shredder Missile says you cannot fight this one, and Force Fields are going to force it back for now. Raven runs forward, takes a little bit of damage, but will be fine for the most part. That was unfortunate. Sure, I was trying to see if I can up the FPS. Yeah, no, Cyan's not going to be able to take this fight right now. He has 1 disruptor, sure, but you need more than that. So, 4th base is here. He is expanding his deck, moving into just heavy disruptor play. And I mean, I understand this on one perspective because there are 2 Ravens on the field. And with 2 Ravens, you can disable, 4 or 5 Colossus. So moving into Colossus as a timing is really not all that powerful. Is a little bit of buy on the right side. It's not going to get all that much done. But Zealots actually run in. They're also not going to get too much done. I think Reinforcements should be able to deal with that for the most part. Widowmine from downtown, but Disruptor's actually not going to get all the Widowmines here. And now here come Auto Turrets on this fourth base, looking to zone things out. The bio continues to find the army on the right side. Disruptor shots is gonna be massive there. I didn't even see it. Now Starks blink in. Gumiho with the miss micro. He's gonna clean this one on up. 16 workers have died on the other side. The Zealots actually found the value that they're looking for. And as Fosher said, all Cyan needs is one good disruptor shot. He will find it. Now here comes Cyan onto the other side of the map. The army's actually kind of caught in medevacs for the second, but it will, for now at least, unload. Is only one disruptor with this army. We have some fake Colossus, but they're not real. They can't hurt you. So folks, I hope you understand that all those Colossus, they were Haluk. Or they were Halus. But up on the high ground, Cyan goes marauding forward, trying to do damage to the base, not just the economy. But he's got to be worried because this drop is going to look to flank him out, but instead the Starks are going to find on top of it. One more shot. The full medevac goes down. The empty medevac, well, doesn't have anything inside of it. And these Colossus, I keep expecting them to do damage, but they are again hallucinated Zealots again into the natural. This one feels like a bit of a throwaway, actually. It's not going to get all that much, but what it has done is forced opportunity for Cyan. He's going to find value. He's going to find damage on the command center, but it's not burning. Not just yet. So the powerful play goes on. Right side, though. More army here from Gumiho. He's going to try to knock the fourth base down. Disruptor shot. It's been a savior for Cyan once. That's a decent one, but not quite savior caliber just yet. And Gumiho, big concave around this base. He's going to go stim onto it. Yeah, the fourth base is dead. Decent disruptor shots on the backside. Gumiho now says he can stim on in because there are not enough shots anymore. Targeting them all down. Oh, big shot on the backside, though, but it looks like Gumiho still has enough, but Colossus have joined the fray once again. And Stalkers trying to knock the Raven down. Some fancy micro, but no, he's not going to try for it. So the Raven stays alive. Gumiho gets the base. Oh, did he get it? No, the base is still alive. What? I could have sworn that base died. Shield Battery Overcharge is a powerful drug, I guess. But now Colossus 2 at a time. 2-1 on the way for Cyan. Extended Thermal Lance just about done for Cyan. And while that was unfortunate, losing all those disruptors is not a feel-good moment if you're a Cyan fan. He kept his base alive. He finds himself up still 20 workers, and that is always going to favor our Protoss player, so long as he can stay alive. So long as he can be happy and healthy and worldly wise. Although I guess that's only true if you're early to bed and early to rise. Maybe that explains why I am none of those things. Okay, Starks blink forward, trying to... I'm actually not sure what that blink was, but they don't really get... They shut down a missile turret, sure, but it's really not doing all that much, and it's only delay, not a kill anyways. There's a big run by on north side. Zealots trying to find their way into the natural, and actually, they're going to run right on through. These +2 Zealots, I mean, they will be tankier soon enough, but they're not going to get all that much on the north side, though. It looks like Cyan is dealing with this drop for the most part. Yeah, +2 armor just about to complete. Does he get the medevac? No, not quite. One more shot. Or maybe +3. Man, after casting anything after casting a big tournament, always feels like such a letdown. You've been sitting there, and you know, I think I cast 23 hours in a 48-hour stretch. Because I think how it mathed out to. Well, cast/fill. You know, I was on air, I was producing, and I had a co-caster. And now I'm back to doing the solo, and it's like, wow, this is fun, but it is so much less fun. Nice map view in that corner. I'm not sure what you mean. Too dark to see to run the Zealots again. Gotta try to find their way, and we gotta point out Gumiho was only on 3 bases. Cyan's on 5, and while Gumiho is holding on rather well, the army complexity that Cyan is continuing to be able to build is just, it's making it really hard for Gumiho to do anything other than turtle up at home. And now Stark's playing on forward. One Liberator goes down. Second, it's not even sieged. These Liberators finding really minimal value here as, well, Cyan finds his way to the natural, and tank shots are annoying. Sure, the counterattack from Gumiho could be a problem, but remember, while you never want to base trade a Terran, well, Protoss have recall. You know, it's not going to be that big a deal. We're going to see a bunch of zealots warping in on the high ground. Cyan actually is rather supply blocked, or not supply blocked, but he's almost supply capped as the natural command center will fall down. 2cc Terran for the moment is now really the army of Cyan finds his way into the high ground. As the counterattack from Gumiho, it's a base trade. Does he get enough done, though? He finds his way into the natural, finds his way into the 5th base. Cyan really doesn't care about the 5th base all that much. And there we go. Recall, I'm assuming, into the main base. Yeah, recall into the main base here. And Gumiho's going to have to run away because while there's not a lot of chaff, there is a lot of wheat. These Colossus are damn strong. And another command center does go down. And Cyan, at this point, he would love to have a Dark Shrine because there is just never going to be enough detection. I don't really think there are Ravens left. If there is, there's maybe one. The 33 SCVs have gone down. Gumiho flirting with that 100 supply mark. He's never gonna be able to rebuild anything. Well, first and foremost, his production's dead. Second of all, is Gumiho trying to stim on into the high ground, but he sees, oh, 2 disruptors there. 2 disruptors there are scary. Now, folks, this is probably not something you do because unless you also broadcast stuff, but there is nothing worse than doing a VOD review, or in my case, I wasn't even doing explicit VOD review. I was just putting together highlight videos, so I listened to a lot of myself in Steadfast. And finding out all your problems. And then you can't stop hearing, like, oh crap, there's a crutch word. But Gumiho has actually found a way into this, what I guess is the 3rd base now of Cyan. He's going to look to target it down. 16 workers have died. But we got to remember, this army of Cyan is terrifying. This is 5 Colossus, but the Bioster going to try to get on top of it. Is the micro? Does he have anything to be able to contest this? The answer is no. Cyan goes up 1-0 in what can only be considered an upset. Well played there. He shakes his head. He's like, yeah, my hands are on fire after that one. Well done. The Chaino Pro, thank you so much for the follow. All right, so game 2. Game 1, Gumiho went for some pressure. It really didn't get much of anything, and Cyan did a great job snowballing it from there. So I made a few spots in the mid game. I mean, he lost a lot of disruptors, and I really did think he was going to lose that 4th base. I think Gumiho goes back into the game and says, oh, that base was very close to dying. I should have just stuck on it. And he's going to be very upset with himself. But it's another day, another dollar. Another map for Bayo to holler. Pashka, it is not just you. This is the clean feed. It's the production that this has been a problem all season for WTL. These I've dropped a grand total of 22 frames out of 277,000 rendering. 277,000 encoding. And 277,000 network frames. And I've dropped a grand total of 46. So, you know, it's not on me. It is really, unfortunately, that sometimes the clean feed from YouTube is buttery smooth, and sometimes it's not quite. They made the butter with milk that was too old. It turned a little chunky. Turns out, though, you can, everyone thinks about butter churns, but turns out you can make butter in a food processor if you get buttermilk. Or no, you get just whole milk, right? Because the buttermilk is the stuff left over after you make milk, or after you make the butter. So as long as you get like whole or like creamline milk, you can make butter in your food processor, which is pretty cool. But I mean, who figured that one out? If I go and I shake milk, or like I agitate milk long enough, the milk fat will congeal and we'll get butter. Also, of course, we do need to point out that this is another aggressive option from Gumiho. Game 1, he went 1-1-1, but it was on his side of the map. Game 2, he's doing something rather interesting. So, he's got a medevac just about done. He has his only triple Hellion, so it's going to be a little bit faster. And a Phoenix is only just now popping out. You want more Phoenix than that, so Hellions are going to try to find their way in. Of course, 3 SCV. It takes 3 shots from a Hellion, or 3 Hellions to 1 shot. So nice splits here from Cyan right now, trying to make sure he minimizes the damage. But still, 6 workers are going to go down. 8 workers, they die, and it's going to be even more. 9 is going to be 10. Yeah, this is actually just this. Even without the next level of this push, unless it gets totally slapped aside, this is game-defining damage right now. As again, the Hellion, it's going to stop at 12. But a Viking on the way, tanks on the way, and with the Marines rallying over, oh, he's gonna get a Phoenix too. This is, you don't want to lose Phoenix. Phoenix are so important to your hold right now. Losing one, even at the expense of a scout, is so problematic. The question now really is, where does this tank choose to siege? And it looks like for the moment he's gonna siege up the pylon. And actually, no, sieging up that pylon is so massive. It depowers the Stargate as well. Viking on the high ground, yeah. So this pylon will go down. It means 1 less gateway from production. The Stargate's not going to, yeah, it's going to get 1 more Phoenix out, but that's going to be just about it. Bit of a torture tactic, absolutely. But okay, the Vikings, they landed. Remember, Vikings, they do a lot of damage to mechanical units, which are not adepts, but they are in fact stalkers. So if you can knock the adepts down, the Vikings are going to do very well against these stalkers. We're not actually going to see a lot of stalkers anymore. As the Cyber Core, it's going to fall as well. Cyan is in whole heaps of trouble. His economy's not incredible. Yeah, he is technically building more stuff, but it's going to be a while in asking. As the probe goes down, tanks are going to find a really scary sieged up position here outside the natural. Phoenix are going to lift 1, but the bio is just killing it. Tanks knocking everything down. It is 8 army supply to 32, folks. And the army of Gumiho, yeah, there's a shield battery. Shield batteries, they can make magic happen. They can make absolute miracles appear. But only so long as shield battery overcharge exists. Now the SCV is getting a pull, just adding that next layer of ablation of a blade of armor. And Gumiho, he takes game 2. He ties it up 1-1. PSISTORM and Good Game Gaming all in lockstep as we move into what promises to be, honestly, a really exciting TVT. Remember, PSISTORM sitting at 6-3. If they take 3 points today, they don't do anything with their ranking. They move to 7-3, but they would move to 20 points, so still in 5th place. But depending on what happens between Alpha X and the Rebellion, which, by the way, the Rebellion have been looking really good. They're tied with Alpha X right now. Actually, no, you can't lose points. So, never mind. But they do get closer to Alpha X. And if Alpha X loses or Shopify loses, they're within 1 point going down to that final week. And, of course, Good Game Gaming, they're on the edge of relegation. They really don't want to go to 2-8. They do want those points. They want to make sure that they can catch up to Team GP. And, well, we're going to have to see, because we're going to get ready for our 2nd series just now. Hey, real Ooker Durker. How's it going? Let's take a look at these octagons, shall we? Yeah, it says they're pretty even, and that's what I would have expected. Maybe a couple more points higher on Special, but Special is unfortunate, very up or down. Sometimes he looks incredible. I mean, he almost beat Clem in what was really a banger of a TVT. And sometimes he just looks real down, and you're like, okay, this guy, he bombs out of the round of 20 of the GSL, or round of 32 of the GSL, and you're like, he probably should have done more. But Special looks clean recently. He looks really good. That being said, Dream is a TVT sniper in Valencia, or sorry, in Katowice. Dream, who did Dream? That's what I want. I am Katowice 2021, right? The Katowice in 22 was technically 2021, but he had a significant. Okay, it was 20. They had it listed as 2022. He had a significant... Who did he beat? That's right. Oh, yeah, yeah. He had an incredible TVT against Cure to qualify over Cure in Group A. And then he took a map off Maru when Maru has not lost in a... He's not lost a best-of-5 TVT series, and I think... over 400 days was, I think, the stat that that Take posted. Oh, shoot. Sorry about that. But I'm going to be really curious to see what special goes for in this setup. Again, he looked really clean. He looked really clean against Clem. But he was going very much for a lot of late game stuff. He was going into heavy mech. He had some early game pressures, but really it was just all about going into mech play and winning that ultra late. And unfortunately, in game 5, he sacrificed a ton. He lost all his Vikings to Clumped Liberators, and that's not something you see all that often, but it swung the game around. He could no longer contest air, and Clump was able to punch across the map on... Was it Inside Out? No, Moondance. On Moondance and take that game. Really incredible game. Yeah, behavior. God bless SC Boy indeed. Yeah, I'm surprised at the lack of results we've seen from Dream this year. He had that incredible run. He looked so good in Katowice, but he also didn't make GSL this season. I forget who he lost to, but like, you expect Dream to qualify for the GSL. Like he is. If you make top 12 if you make top 12 in Katowice, you kind of expect to qualify for the GSL. So Dream lost 0. In fairness, he did get bounced by Hero in qualifier day 1, and then he got bounced by Armani and Gumiho, and then he gave up. He gave a forfeit loss to Keen in the final matchup after he was 0-2'd by Stu. So I guess he's just not feeling it, which I don't know. I hope to see him in Season 3 because he is very good. Certainly when he's on, he's very good. But okay, special marauding across the map right now. 3 Reaper 2 Hellion, that standard pressure. But I'm not looking. I am looking at what we see right here, but what happens in the early game and the mid game. But I'm really looking to see how many gas special gets, whether it's going to be 3 or whether it's going to be 4. Is this mech or is this bio? But now we're 3 Reaper 2 Hellion. Actually, there's actually just not enough here. So we're going to see the grenades get dropped. Cyclone arrives, though, and just in time. Starts going to lose a Hellion of his own, or a Reaper of his own. He's going to be forced to back up, and, well, the game goes on. So where do we go from here? It's only 3 gas here for special, so I'm gonna say likely bio. Not guaranteed, but also Data C is not, well, it's not, maybe not the most mech friendly map. It's a lot of chokes, sure, but it's kind of hard to get that 5th base, and mech really wants 10 gas. I mean, 8 gas is great, but you do really want that 10 gas. Look at this Dream being a little cheeky with his Reaper Cyclone in the middle of the map. It's not gonna help him. Special's not there. But imagine if it had been. Ooh, Cyclone lock on the Raven, but now it's going to be, the auto turret gets dropped. Raven stays alive, and now Stream, actually, he's going to be the one that's going to be taking advantage of this fight. Cyclones, though, they trade lock-ons, and Special's going to look for another lock-on. Raven auto turret doesn't get it. He does, and he gets the Cyclone as well. Look at the micro here for Special. He's going to knock it all down. He keeps his Raven alive. He takes the Cyclone alive, and what looked really bad there for Special looked really good. Notice how he abused the doodad to make sure he broke vision for a second, so the cyclone lock on. Actually, he did that multiple times to drop cyclone lock-ons while maintaining his own. So getting a Raven early is incredible, keeps you safe from so much, and opens up pushing power for yourself as well. Keeping your cyclone alive is eventually not all that important, but... Oh, wait. Did that cyclone just die? Anyway, Reaper on the high ground here is going to get an SCV. Marines are going to rotate on over eventually, but does he get a second? It looks like he may actually be able to. But the Reaper... Oh, no, Reaper's going to stay alive. No, it's boxed in the corner. Reaper's dead. At the end of the day, did he get the cyclone? I can't imagine he got the cyclone. Anyway, he got an SCV. Hey, Carry with 1312. Thank you so much for the follow there. What happened in 1312? It was a leap year starting on a Saturday. It was the year the Knights Templar were disbanded. The Charter of Kortenberg is signed, and possibly the first constitution which allows democratic decisions in feudal mainland Europe. And now here comes the push of special auto turrets spammed on top of everything. These tanks are just going to go down. One tank falls, second tank is going to go down. Auto turrets should not get the third. What have you heard a lot of, Echo Soldier? WTL? Or 1312? Okay, the tanks now, especially, find their way in a little bit further now. And that's another tanks going down. Dream, he just lost the positioning. We're seeing the snowball from the fact he lost the Raven and the Cyclone early. Because now, Special's the one that had superior Raven counts. So he was able to run in there, just drop auto turrets. And as this rally continues, Dream just does not have enough tanks to make this happen. So the leapfrog of Special continues now forward and forward and forward into the fray. The third base is not going to be allowed to mine for a long time. Yes, Echo Soldier, you've heard WTL quite often recently. But now with the Vikings here, this is actually a dead... No, the SCVs are going to get pulled, but even still, wait, Dream, does he have the money? He does. Vikings still winning the fight. And honestly, Dream has to sacrifice these Vikings. He needs to make sure his third command center stays alive. But this push from Special, yeah, it's down upgrades. In fact, Special is not even gone for upgrades. But it is so damn powerful. The tank count here is not something that Dream can really deal with. And again, the command center is going to start burning. Again, it's going to keep going down. The repair looks like it's going to be good enough in time because Marines are sitting on underneath. But Dream, he keeps building these Vikings that he's not allowed to really do anything with because the Vikings of Special are just sitting there. And yes, Special has to be careful at how far he flies these Vikings forwards. The Marines are still scary. But even still, the Vikings, they continue to fall. Ravens die, though, but here comes the break. Oh, from the right side, the Vikings. The Ravens, they find so many disables, but the tanks are still doing a damn fine job. Two tanks on the bottom side, Marines, but these Marines, they have 1-1. They have stim, and they will be able to force Special back. Dream has been biding his time. He only loses 8 SCVs. He knocked down the entire army. Vikings, tanks, Marines of Special. And yeah, Special had a lot of production. He still has some army. But this army supply from Dream, he bided his time. He waited long enough. And this double starport all in that Special's gone for, it's not going to push him quite far forward enough. Hey, Carrio. I'm glad you enjoyed stuff from Valencia. If you want to see, say, highlights of all the best stuff from Valencia. But actually, hold that thought because Dream now stims in. Vikings are going to land here. But they're not really doing all that much. And yes, SCVs are going to be able to help this clean up, but 7 workers die. Dream maintains his supply lead. Dream maintains, most importantly, his tech lead. A Special moves into mech behind this. That's the one saving grace we can consider, right? Because it's like, okay, well, I don't have 1-1, but I have a lot of tanks, so we're gonna be okay. But the tempo lead that Dream has right now is a significant one. The question though is, at what point does he realize that this is mech, not just a 2 starport Viking all in, and start to get Marauders? You got a Torchy's in Columbus. I'm jealous as hell. Torchy's tacos is, so good. But yeah, Cario, if you want to see highlights, not just of what I did, but the entirety of Valencia, I put together highlight videos for day 2, round of 4, or round of 8, and then round of 4 plus finals. They're all live on my YouTube. But yeah, no, I think it's pretty obvious, Curio, that Steadfast and I have by far the most, probably more hours together than any caster pair short of Tastosis in StarCraft. Because we've been doing we did the Corporate Esports Association for a solid year, and then we're pretty much, more often than not, we're the B stream for Valencia, and then we do stuff on our own. Ooh, those are good tacos. I don't remember exactly what goes in each Echo Soldier, but sorry, Echo Soul D3er. But I've had all of them, and they are so good. But okay, Dream once again sieging up Specialist third base. Now Specialist been able to rebuild his Sky Terran army. It's really hard for Dream to get the vision he wants, at least in a cost-effective way. But he's got to drop on the right side. He's going to delay the fifth base. Or the fourth base of Special for just a little bit longer, drop into the natural now, where missile turrets are just not really where they need to be. So the carpet bomb of Marines. Now the Vikings, they arrive, but you got to be careful. So they're not even going to arrive just yet. Drop into the main base. Oh, Special, though, he's ready. Your Vikings are going to get one down. They're going to get two down. But even still, most of the army of Dream was able to unload, and now it's an attack from three sides into the main and the natural. Oh, Orbital's burning as well. And this one is Special going to be able to save it. He's got a ton of money in the bank, 1,000 minerals, 15 minerals, but the command center dies anyways because the SCVs cannot get on top of it. 53 SCVs have died over the course of this game, and tanks are running on forward, but the Marines are going to be able to get on top of them. 60 workers have died, and still Specials on 30. That is insane. As he's built a battle cruiser somehow. There's a second one on the way. Actually, there are two battle cruisers on the map right now, but the Orbital is dead. The Bio is going to get another tank, and the rally of Dream continues on forward, further and further in. I appreciate what Special has, and if he's able to stabilize, maybe he's got a shot. Oh, interesting. He's gonna teleport on the other side of the map, and this is fair because this is a base right here. He has to make something happen. He just kind of can't sit and defend. That is something that will never work for him. But he does have 3 battle cruisers. And Marines, even 2 Marines, are really not the best options against these. Battle cruisers have so much armor that it does become a problem. It really is all down to these Vikings. The battle cruisers continue to find value. One battle cruiser will go down, though. And now Marines, they're going to get carpet bombed on top. More and more Vikings arrive. And yes, battle cruisers are good against low numbers of bio, but they're all going to go down anyways. They have bought some time, but not enough. And Dream, he looks damn good. He takes game 1. He puts Good Game Gaming up 2-1. And this really is... It feels like this matchup is down to Dream Special and a Ratatta MaxPax to determine who takes the victory here today. We didn't get an laser interview, Carrier. I tried, but we weren't able to get the AV system set up. I was talking with him back and forth, and it just never worked out. Very sad. Unless you're talking about the laser interview where he said Dark was just going to suicide his units into him before Dark 3-0'd him. Because yes, we do have it. There is a snippet of that in the was it the round of 8? In the round of 8 highlight video. But in fairness, Kira, you say you've heard us for the first time. Well, in fairness, the Corporate Esports Association was a really small thing. All right, but Dream trying to turn this into a nightmare. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I thought I thought you said you'd watched it all. Oh, Neebdeer. Oh, that's an excellent series. That's a... Sorry, my bad. Neebdeer is an excellent... Game 4 and Game 5 on that one. Special and I... Or, not Special. Steadfast and I just about lost our mimes. But 2 racks Reaper on the way for Dream in game number 2. And in fairness, it's funny. When you look at serious planning... When you look at serious planning here, if this was a 1v1, it would make a lot of sense to proxy this map. Because you say, look, I'm up 1-0, I have a map to give, it's the best of 3, whatever. But because you can only win a maximum of 2 maps out of 7, because this is a best of 7 effectively, I still can understand it if you trust your teammates. So if you trust Ratatta to take at least 1 map, you say, yeah, this is worthwhile to try to catch Special off guard, because Special's TVT is really good. Again, he almost beat Clem, and granted, that was offline. And Clem is not as good offline as he is online, and you know, you don't have ping disadvantage and all these things, but even still, he almost killed Clem. Reaper's gonna find somebody on the high ground right now. Bunker going up for special. I don't think this bunker will complete at all. Yeah, there we go. SCV is now dead, but Reaper's out here for special as well. It's 1 Reaper to 1. Special is aware of this though. At least he should be. Because he scouted into the main base, he saw nothing there. And he has to do everything to make sure that his factory stays alive, because when the Hellion pops out, the rush is really over. But for now, SCV is actually going to get pulled, and they have not gone down, so the bunker is going to get up once again. SCV on the high ground, so Dream knows what's happening here. Oh, there we go. KDA charge. Good micro here from both players, but now it's going to be 3 Reapers to 1 in a Marine. Second Marine joining in. And it looks like this Reaper is just not going to get all that much done. Special completes this bunker, which means this rush is well and truly over, at least from that position. Marine's going to try to find something. There we go. Marine Hellion knocks that down. And the Reaper, yeah, it looks like Reaper's trying to find their way high ground. So Dream, he's building more Reapers. It's really not going to get all that much for him. Not what he's going to want. Special feeling confident enough to build his command center on the low ground, not even really bothering with building it on the high ground. And now these Reapers they're going to get found on out. I always very much enjoy the rare occasions, Echo Soldier, where we get Dream versus Nightmare. Okay, here comes 4 Reapers, and this is a tricky bit of micro here. Special can win, but so too can Dream. It looks like Dream will win out on the end of the day. Fantastic micro from the Korean Terran. He's going to try to jump on the high ground once again. And there's a bunker, sure, but there's nothing in it. So with these 2 Hellions, it will have to meet the hold happen. SCV is going to get pulled off the line once again. But the KDA charge is forcing everything back. Mass repair. The Hellions are going to stay alive, and it's always funny. My activity feed to say, hey, you know, who's done what. When it refreshes or resets itself, the things move around. So I see that motion out of the corner of my eye and say, oh, you know, I gotta, hey, you know, someone followed. By the way, Stixie Pasta, thanks so much for the follow. And no one did. It just updated, and it always, it gives me that now. I mean, this is a lot of Reapers here. I have them to one-shot SCVs, but with a Cyclone and the Hellions, this should be a game of attrition that Dream will eventually lose. But this does buy time, of course, for Dream to, well, get us at least to start mining out of a command center on the low round, buying time for the orbital. But with the Cyclone popping out here as well, we got to remember there's no wall, so the Cyclone can run in. And this is a heavy commitment to the follow-up from the Reaper damage that or the Reaper pressure that Dream has gone for. But now SCV's going to get pulled onto the bottom side. But it's 2 Cyclones. This really should be 2 Cyclones, 2 Hellions. This really should be enough for special, and it's going to force Dream back. Really not losing all that much. Maybe losing a little mining time is the most we can say. Hey, Marauders. Marauders. Just shoot up. Oh, man, wouldn't Lucid be a great pro gamer name? I know you're talking about other things, Marco Man, but Lucid would be an excellent pro gamer name. But okay, special. He's gonna scan this out. He says, "Okay, you got a Raven. What else you got? 3rd Command Center on the way. Hello." And I know these games are not always as intense and as exciting as EPT Cups or whatever, but I really do enjoy these WTL time-shifted casts. First of all, because I don't have a delay. So I can just sit here and hang with you all and talk about StarCraft and, you know, do whatever. So thank you for joining me this evening, and hopefully tomorrow evening and Sunday evening, because I'm actually not sure. It's a good question. because the TSL there's a TSL qualifier tomorrow. Right, it's qualifier number 2. No, is it NA? Yeah, tomorrow night. So TSL qualifier tomorrow night. Normally when I would do WTL time shift. So what I can do, I can just do both. I can do this earlier in the day and then do the WTL, do the effectively turn that into TSL qualcast. But anyway, we're going to see the Army Special finding his way on in. Auto turrets spamming everywhere, but Dream, he's got his auto turrets down first. The SCV's getting it pulled. Desperate to hold here, but there are 3 tanks from Special with a Banshee on the high ground. Knocking out a lot of these SCVs. Yes, the tanks fall, but 13 SCVs die as well. And the Cyclone will knock down a Raven, but even still, Special's army is incredibly powerful here. He's gotten 2-port ban. It's interesting. The Special tried to do this to Clem once. It didn't work. This 2-port Viking idea has become really popular here for the Mexican player as of late. Kellezer did it to him once or twice, and it made the games close. And it really does seem to be something he's enjoying on Waterfall specifically. This is the map he tried to do it to Clem on, and Clem had also gone 2-port starport, so it didn't really work out for him. But I'm interested to see whether this is going to be something that is going to enter the lexicon, into the book of builds more commonly for Terrans, or whether it's just something that Special is going to keep doing, and it's just going to be because, well, Special is a rather stylistic Terran anyways. Oh, cute little auto turret to knock down the SCV. Third base is now dead for Dream. He's supply blocked at 88 out of 86. His army is roughly equal in supply, but Special's third base is on the way, so Special will have a significant economic advantage going forward. Terran Avenger, what did I ever do to you that has you calling me a clown like that? Jeez, can't get no respect around here. Oh no, Scarlet also apparently has COVID. Or at least is sick after. Valencia was just cursed. So many tech issues, like every pro and pig got sick. Also means we might not get the Shopify Rebellion match this week. They're asking, Shopify is asking for WTL to postpone it a week. Frodo the Clown indeed, Marco Man. As the most, that is the most disturbing pig emote that exists, by the way. I have that face in my dreams, and it's a nightmare. But okay, it looks like Liberator will be dealt with for the moment. And the supply lead for Special is not really all that significant from an army supply perspective. He's up, what, 6 supply. And tanks are actually equal. But the big deal is he's at 76 workers to 43, and he's actually going to deny. Oh, hot pickup! Oh, Dream, you sexy dog. But regardless, he did delay the base just a little bit. And it's going to be a struggle. Yeah, we see the income graph there. It's going to be a struggle for Dream to really. Warnell, are you not sub to Scarlet right now so you can have that emote? I can't believe you. Or does Scarlet not have that emote on her Twitch? But anyway, here comes the push from Dream from the west side. Great disables actually on 2 of the tanks. Actually 3 of the tanks, but the next level of tanks will siege up, and Vikings are just doing so much here. Yeah, they don't fight the army directly, not with the bio where it is, but they knock down all the vision, they knock down all the Ravens, they knock down all the medevacs, and it's a lot harder for a bio army to fight right then. And it looks like actually Special's just going to give the position up. He says, yeah, okay, well, you know, my command center can go mine somewhere else. That's fine. It's funny. I was editing things for the highlight video for, I think it was the round of 4+ finals. And Pig, of course, he has 2 styles of casting. He goes and he does his normal casting. or like his channel, which is rather dirty and hilarious. And then he has super serious ESL casting. But sometimes the dirty pig it goes on through. And I'll pull the clip up after this game. It's a BTD. Okay. I may need to enable it in my chat, Warnell. Got you. It has been added to the channel. Or something. Well, I may not see. I just may not see it because I'm in. I'm looking at chat with OBS. Anyways, okay. So where are we at right now? Liberator's continuing to find value. Special still up significantly in supply. He's up 17 workers. His army supply is increasing as well. And I think we're going to see him look for effectively a maxed out 2-2 time because this Liberator will eventually fall, but not before 5 SCVs go down. I guess most of that on the other side of the map, though. But Special's getting dangerously close to maxed out. His 2-2 is on the way. In fact, he's not even going to wait for that one on the map right now. Does he have Blue Flame, though? I'm not sure. Now, this, folks, is my favorite style of TVT to watch. Granted, this is a game where Dream is having to come back massively from, so I'm not sure we can say that for this game in particular, but mech versus bio, or really anything that has heterogeneous win conditions. Now Marauder are going to try to find these tanks, but tanks, now they siege up. They say, back the hell on up, buddy. You don't want that one. And because Special owns the sky so hard with this double port idea, he can move into Liberators incredibly quickly and start to wedge Dream back into his side of the map. So Dream's going to look for a flank. He's going to look to try to find for some way to fight where the Liberators are not. As now the Marauder, or the Hellbat, excuse me, running on forward. They do not have Blue Flame. It's only about halfway done. He did not have it for that last fight either, but he's still able to knock down the bio. Liberator shots knocking tanks down. His Dream giving away inches at a time. Or Special, he wants more than that. So the tanks, they siege up once again. Liberators running further and further forward. Look how good of a job Special's doing on shadowing his Liberators with his tanks. It would be very easy for him to go and move forward and wait for things to move back and run forward. But instead, he's just chasing the tanks with his tanks. So by the time Dream looks to siege up, he has to give up more space because Special's already sieged up. Exactly. And it's always funny when you hear Mr. Hyde. It's always funny when we hear Mr. Hyde peek through the Dr. Jackal. Because I remember right, Dr. Jackal was the well-mannered one, and Mr. Hyde was the one hiding away. But anyway, drop on top of these tanks, and that's actually going to be a nice pickup here for Dream as he's getting closer to about a 150 supply, but it does not matter because now Liberator's sieging up on top of everything. The bio doing what they can. And actually, they're going to do a lot, but the tank, Dream's got to be feeling shell-shocked right now. More Liberators are arriving. 2-2 is now done here for Special. And yeah, the Liberator does fall, but notice it's dying slower. That armor upgrade is such a big thing. Okay, another hot drop here on the tanks on the left side, but Vikings just shredding them. Yeah, a couple Marines get out, but really not enough here. Dream now floating with that 100 supply mark, and folks, we're going to be moving pretty sure into our third and final set of this series, tied up to a piece. MaxPax 2 zeros. PSISTORM gets 3 points. Ratatta 2 zeros. Good Game Gaming gets 3 points. It goes 1-1. We go to an ace match, and one team gets 2 points, one gets 1, which is not something either of them really want. As now the Vikings are going to two volley this down. Yeah, the repair is not going to be good enough. Another orbital falls here for Dream and Special. Rolling forward. That is the second orbital that has died this game. And I love this Special. He's got such a heavy Viking count that we're seeing transformation servos pop up pretty damn quickly. The amount of burst damage you get off Vikings when you're able to just hot swap them like that is such a big deal. Yeah, I'm aware of. I don't think I've ever read the novel, actually. America Man. To my great chagrin. There was a Scooby-Doo, I think, episode. There was a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde as well, which was fun. But here comes the bio. They run forward. They're just trying to knock down what they can. They can't get the tanks. I can't get in range of the tanks. So instead they say, yeah, we're going to kill some Hellbats. But, I mean, in this game of attrition, I think we saw resources lost earlier, and it was +5, +6, +7k in the lead for special. And it feels bad if you're the bio player and the meching player is slowly flanking you. As we're going to see this Liberator go down eventually. And not a lot of anti-air, actually. So even still, yeah, these tanks, they're not even dying. Dream is, though. And it's going to be 1-1 for Dream and special 1-1 for who's in set 1. 1-1 for Cyan and Gumiho. And now we're going to be moving in Ratatta versus MaxPax. That's a 6 series to end the day. And I do know that at least one of those games had just edgier seat action. Oh, actually, wait a minute. We need to see power hexagons. I'm sorry. Well, Ratatta very clearly is the victor here. 69. I don't know. It's fair to necessarily give MaxPax a lower score in macro, but I guess compared to his other things, that's fair. What do you think, folks? I know we've seen these hexagons before, but even still, I'll ask the question again. The hexagons accurate? They're worthwhile? Did they make sense? But now we're into game 1 of 2. Someone can get a 2-0. That ends the day. If we go one apiece, we're going to go to ace match, and I'm not sure who I send to ace. Normally it would just be MaxPax for PSISTORM, but Special's been killing it recently. I don't know. I'd send Dream, though. I would expect to see maybe Ratatta versus... So the hexagon's bell curve, no, they're not. The points on the hexagon add up to 60. There are 4 more categories that you see with the individual players that are like career performance, things like that, and that adds up to 100. And I can't believe how many pros got sick off of Valencia. Pretty much the entire NV squad. I haven't heard anything about Creator, but DRG and Maru did. Bunny, and Maru's not NV anymore, but I assume they travel together. They used to be on NV. Bunny got sick, and I think we almost can blame Bunny, right? Because he would have gotten sick, and I mean, this is tongue in cheek. Don't blame Bunny, but he would have gotten sick earliest because he tested positive in Spain, which meant he probably got it on the plane or probably got it in Korea, which I assume he traveled with the rest of the NV people. So again, not blaming him. It's hard to know you're sick until you're sick. And I'm very jealous, by the way. So my partner has a house in Texas that she has bought, and it's a big milestone. Very proud of her. She has an insanely good job at a company in Texas, and well, I have a cool job, but my job does not pay very much. Casting supplements, but she's taking on an intern she's renting a room out to an intern over the summer, and that intern is a very good cook and is of Indian descent. So she is teaching Claire and her friends to make a bunch of different stuff tomorrow. They're making pav bhaji and butter chicken, which is honestly the least exciting thing, but still good. And then biryani, and then samosa chat. So like, it's just a big cooking day of a bunch of good Indian food, and I'm not there to learn. Oh, very sad. She is a manufacturing engineer. So she's responsible for effectively keeping the machines up and running that make the semiconductors, for making the chips that we need. Not necessarily for like GPUs, but things like, well, she works for Texas Instruments, so calculators, but also things for cars and other chips. But Oracle goes down, and spell damages, of course, melts larva. And larva's not a worker, sure, but it does diminish the ability to build larva. Or build workers, so from that perspective, it is valuable. Mechanical engineering. She did not make Drug Wars 2 for TI-83. That is before her time. As the oracles are going to fly in. Yeah, there's a spore, but there are no queens. They're going to force 2 cancels, so that's almost a drone in and of itself. What? 34 minerals is what you lose. And 3 more workers go down for a grand total of, I think, 5. So MaxPax pretty happy with how this early game is going. And Twilight Forge on the way behind. But Blink is going to be started before +1 in this instance, which is going to be nice. There are a bunch of different ways you approach it, but we are seeing more and more players, or at least some players, prioritizing Blink over +1 to get a little bit more agency on the map early. But now here come the Adepts. There's only 3 of them, and even if they just get creep spread, they're going to be very happy with themselves. If they cancel the Shade, run back off creep. Now Queens are going to try to respread, of course. It looks like a couple lings maybe on the 3rd base, but nothing really to worry about as an Adept flies into the 3rd base and is going to knock a bunch more down. 3 workers. Pay the price. He's always going to get 4. Oh, okay, MaxPax probably could have gotten 5. Right, Warnell? They make so much more, and in fact, if you talk to them at career fairs, which I have, if you say, oh, I know TI, they're the calculator company, they kind of get mad at you. No, we do so much more. We do all these, we do these different nanometer wafers, and we do a bunch of stuff. But they do make good calculators. So yes, her undergrad is in mechanical engineering, and she also has a master's in mechanical engineering. Well, she's one of the few mechanical engineers at TI, and they're all like manufacturing engineers for the most part. Because she's not designing chips or anything like that. She's making sure that the factory runs smoothly, effectively. The funny thing about that one, Warnell, is Hitachi sold off the trademark to Target, I think, because they didn't want to be known by it anymore. But okay. Interesting here. Ratatta going for a very quick infestation pit. Now, this could be for a couple things. We saw Dark versus Hero. On maps that he could turtle, Dark went into really quick lurkers, but there's no Hydra in here. So I think actually we're going to see Infestors pop out. Maybe Quick Hive, but Quick Hive doesn't really do a lot for you unless you want Adrenal Glances. Now the Stalkers of MaxPax find their way in. Right side, Adepts are not going to get all that much, but MaxPax has done such a good job of curtailing the creep spread between the natural and the 3rd base that this is actually a really scary position here for Ratatta. Queens are starting to fall. Ling's getting on top of things as well, but that's where the Oracles, they fly in, and with no anti-air, the Oracles are absolutely uncontested. The answer is going to be Swarm Hosts, but I do not like Swarm Hosts defensively. I like him aggressively, sure, but MaxPax is not giving Ratatta that opportunity, and now the Roaches continue to fall. The Queens continue to fall here, and this is actually just looking like a dead Ratatta. He's got Swarm Hosts here, he's going to pop some Locusts, but Stalkers, do they even really care about this one? You just kind of blink out once the Locusts are there, and you fight immediately once again. Yeah, the Locusts, they're done in 5 seconds. I don't even know why he's wasting DPS on them. But now he's going to run forward, and now you have 21 dead supply here. Overlord's continuing to fall. I do not understand this decision from Ratatta in the slightest. Maybe it works. Does she play Mackinac matchups? She doesn't play StarCraft. And on the Stalkers, they're going to run on forward once again. And they're just playing on the edge of creep. Again, it is such a big deal. It is such a big deal that MaxPax has been able to push the creep so far forward. But again, Locusts are going to be released. And we do need to point out that I don't believe he's firing every Locust at any given time, which is nice. It does mean that there's less downtime. But MaxPax is on 4 bases. He's on 77 workers. This +2 is about halfway done. I'd love to see a second Forge. Goliath, if you're serious about that, join my Discord, DM me, and I'll pass your resume along. Not for this year. I don't know that I can help for this year because I don't know that TI does co-ops or on semester co-ops as much. It's that's another heck muffin going down. This has just not been a good move here for Ratatta. He had an idea about the game, but the problem with the swarm host idea, the problem with mutas as well, is the fact that this pressure from Max or from the Protoss in general just starts before you're able to get it up. So generally, you know, mutas, swarm hosts, they're great, or at least they're okay if you're able to pin your opponent back on their side of the map. But if they're able to pin you on your side of the map, you have this supply that is either heavily timing dependent. I mean, it's what, 25 seconds, 30 seconds between Locust timing out and the next wave being ready. Or mutas, where they don't really want to fight straight up, so they want to bounce around and never take a straight up fight. But if you're pinned back in your base, you have to take a straight up fight. You do not have that time otherwise. So MaxPax now is taking the supply lead here. More and more Ravagers falling as they pushed off creep. He's going to blink on top. He's going to dodge all the biles, and the fourth base of Ratatta is coming on down. MaxPax is looking absolutely dominant in game number 1. And now PSISTORM is 1 game away from taking a 4-2 week. But Ratatta, I gotta question his decision making. You know, not the decision making of how he played the game, but decision to make Swarm Host. I just don't think Swarm Host is a good decision against this style. But yeah, Goliath Online, if you join on Discord and DM me there, or if you join my Discord and DM me there, I'll do my best to hook you up. I'm assuming you just joined. All right. I can't promise anything, of course, but very least I can pass your resume along, and she'll tell you where to apply, and maybe that'll get you an interview. Great. Yep, just send me your resume. What year in undergrad are you, by the way? It's if you're a freshman or sophomore, I'll pass it along, but you don't. It's kind of a long shot. As I'm sure you're aware, but if you're like a junior or senior, okay. Yeah, so as a junior, you're a decent shot, at least to get an internship for next summer. At least in terms of where you are in terms of your academic experience. Okay, game 1. Ratatta, again, he went for Swarm Host. I really don't like Swarm Host into the Swarm Toss style. It just is not incredible. We talked about it. Swarm Hosts are heavy timing dependent, and if you're pinned back on your side of the map, you're just punished in those timings. It really is just how Swarm Host styles, when they were more popular, we get beaten. You would say, yes, I see you're going Swarm Host. Let me build a bunch of Charizard Archon, Immortal, or whatever you have, and I'm going to run across the map, and I'm going to catch your Swarm Host before they're ready. And then you're going to drop Locust, and I'm going to pull back for a second, then I'm going to go kill you. Muta is the same way. It's why we have not seen a lot of Muta play against this style. So if Ratatta maybe plays the more pervasive style, which is a 330 Evo-ish, you get a very quick +1. And you try to get your +1 Zerglings out pretty much in time to deal with the first move out of the Stalkers. I mean, Goliath, it's fine. I mean, I don't... The part of the glory of these casts that are delay free because they're time shifted is I'm not quite as casting as seriously as I will be for, say, EBT Korea tomorrow night, where it's full on professional caster Bayo for the most part. This is the vibe I go for here is, let's hang out and talk about some StarCraft, and if something happens, we're gonna cast it. But it's as much for hanging out with whatever community has decided to join me this evening, as much as it is. I forgot to update the stream title. Yes, I'm a professional Bayo MILF. Can't you tell? With this low-cut shirt that I have. Yes, stare deep into the beard. Stare deep at the beard, I don't know. But okay, the Adept's not going to get much done. And MaxPax going Glaives behind this. Now, he does technically have a map to give. PSISTORM does not want to go to ace match. They want that 3-point win. To put them within 1 point of PSISTORM and DPG and Alpha X. They want to be able to leapfrog. They want to be able to leapfrog a spot. But at the end of the day, would not be the end of the world, because it's not like winning this week actually leapfrogs them. It just gets them closer to leapfrogging. And then, you know, a lot of stuff has to go their way. All right, what? You can use channel points to... I did not know about those things. Huh. No, I didn't know that was how modified emote worked. But yes, I'm in black and white now. Thank you, Bacana Proto. Okay, now Ratatta is aware of what's happening, by the way. As this is 4-gate glaives, it's not... I think it's 4-gate. No. This is heavier gate. I'm sorry, this is 5-gate. This is 6-gate glaives. And this is... If not at all in, it is heavy pressure coming out for MaxPax right now. And that makes sense. It feels like Waterfall is the new Curious in terms of this is just what we're going to see on this map. And I'm curious to see whether it's going to work. Because, again, Roaches are on the way. Mordlings, Ravagers joining the fray as well. Is MaxPax going to be able to punch on through? Now, with this heavier gateway count, you're actually really okay to take fights. In fact, you do want to shut down army in some way, shape, or form. As a couple of depths find their way into the third base, 3 workers go down immediately. But oh, the Lings are going to trap them in a corner. Biles landing, but actually not enough Biles just yet. And this is a lot of adepts going down here for MaxPax. Finds his way in the main base now. A couple more workers die, but Roach is already here. Queens rotate on over. Adept shading the natural and the third base. No, just in the natural. Pairing themselves up. I think 10 workers have died. 11 workers make it 12. Oh, the economic carnage in this game is tremendous. But even still, you do have to worry that the army is not really dying right now for Ratatta. But there we go. 6 more depths. They warp in. And now I think we're going to see the Warp Prism go into the main base for MaxPax here. But okay, no, adepts, they find their way in the main base. 18 workers have died. Roaches continue to fall. Now, there's 2 adepts in the third. I think they're going to be dealt with for the most part. They may even be able to escape. But actually, adepts, again, 21 workers go down. Ratatta is getting torn asunder here in this game. 24 workers have died. 25, 26. The question now, MaxPax, I think at this point, MaxPax says he's gotten enough. But he needs to make sure he doesn't die. All right, that's the big deal. He needs to make sure he doesn't die now because he's gotten enough damage. 28 drones have died. I don't think he's got any queens, but I think he got a Ravager or 2 as well. This absolutely pays for itself. But the pressure from the other side of the map. Ratatta with his Roaches, with his Ravagers. I think he's going to be able to... Actually, no. With the Immortal out here and the Adepts and the Sentries, I think MaxPax should be able to hold this position. All depends on how quickly the Immortal rotates on over. MaxPax, yeah, he does have to cancel. But here come... Oh, good force field there. That's going to be a dead Ravager. And I don't think anything more than that. But knocking the Ravager down is now fantastic. The question, though, does MaxPax look to push out with this? As his Warp Prism is still alive, does he look to take a third base? So third base is now on the way. But I think this army for MaxPax is one that he can make a lot happen with. Where is the Warp Prism? I thought I heard something heard it set up, but I don't exactly see it. As now here come the Immortals, here come the Sentries, here come the Adepts, and it's a bit of a weird army. It's not what you would normally have, but it is actually a pretty fantastic one. The Observer's still here, somehow not going down. The Spore was killing it, but it gets just barely out of range. A couple more workers fall. That resource is lost. It actually does favor Ratatta, but then we just consider the fact that Ratatta's economy has not been able to do much of anything. Queen's starting to fall. The Spore goes down here as well, which makes it a lot easier for MaxPax to find his way in. A Sentry will fall, Force Field falls. Or Force Field does go down, though. Briefly, doesn't get all that much. And a couple more drones, they do die. Warp Prism on the right. No, sorry, in the center of the map. Lings, though, looking for a surround. Adepts not really there to bodyguard just yet. Biles, oh, Hot pick up at the last second. That's going to be able to keep things alive for the moment. But here come the Stalkers. Here come the Immortals once again. But big Ling run by into the natural. There is no wall here for MaxPax Protoss. It needs a damn door, but for now there will not be one. And here come the Immortals. Here come the Stalkers of MaxPax. Oh, he's going to depower 2 gateways as well. So it's not the easiest thing for MaxPax to clean up at the moment. But he's not supply blocked, not just yet. He can still warp in 4 units at a time. Blink will be done in just about 20 seconds. So MaxPax rotating onto the third base. Warp Prism's got to make sure it stays alive. Any biles on that one is going to really end the day for MaxPax here. Drones are going to get pulled. MaxPax trying to make something happen as the Immortal Micro is sublime in this game. Drones continue to die. Link's trying to get on top of things. MaxPax gently microing on backwards, but it looks like he will lose the majority of his army here. So Ratatta, he makes the hold. 52 army supply to 19, but still down 15 workers. Can he make the pressure happen as he runs into the third base? And look at this micro here for MaxPax, trying to get every iota, every little bit of value from these Immortals as the army runs its way onto the other side of the map. Lings, Roaches, Ravagers come spilling on into the third base. Now Probes are going to get pulled. Immortals, oh, good force field here to start. He gets a couple Lings, gets a Ravager, but Lings now on top of the mineral line again. MaxPax, he got a micro backwards. This army is not good enough just yet, even with Blink being... I don't think he canceled Blink, did he? But he's not, doesn't really seem to be blinking for the moment. Immortals, they're still alive. Stalkers here. Third Immortal, not really allowed to fire just yet. Caught in the wall. But MaxPax slowly, steadily trying to do what he can to find value. But the Roach, the Ravagers, the Lings, they're going to find their way into the natural. Biles on top of the pylon again. The pylon will go down. Probes are going to get pulled. These Immortals on the left side are so damn low. But the Stalkers and the Immortals on the right, they are mostly untouched. Good blink there for MaxPax. Keeps himself alive, and the Roaches, the Ravagers, they're trying to find their way through and choke into a concave of the Maximus Paximus, looking to give him the greatest piece for once in this game. 28 probes have fallen. MaxPax, his economy, is the one in the dumps at this instance, but the third base is still alive. Ratatta, in his desperation, in his tempo, has neglected to kill it off, so MaxPax, give him time. 3 probes at a time. May have something to say about that one, but MaxPax, it feels so iffy to get on the map right now. He's down a solid 15 army supply. I don't know if he lost an Immortal or not, but he only has 2 in the Warp Prison that he can keep alive. Now Sentries are going to drop in more. We're going to see some more force fields here, but Ratatta, he is so damn close to making this happen. MaxPax so damn close to the hold, and there we go. Lings again, they find their way. And MaxPax, he never repowered those gateways. He's only on 4 gateway production right now. And again, the Immortals, they stay alive. Again, Shield Battery Overcharge doing a damn fine job. Stalkers warped into the natural. The wall remains strong. Oh man, folks, when people promised me that one of MaxPax and Ratatta was really edgier seat, I'm like, okay, that's cool. And then we got through. Felt like the first 5 minutes of this game and last game, it's like, okay, well, this is kind of a bop. But this game is on a razor's edge at this point. At least they're going to find their way on it. Starks have to blink backwards because of the threat of the Ravagers. And again, the pylon goes up. I don't know for how long. Lings into the third base as well. Immortals are not enough to defend with this one. Maybe the Adepts. But now here come the Roaches, the Lings, the Ravagers into the main base. Another Immortal pops out just in time. But pylons are getting depowered everywhere. No more production for MaxPax here. Not for the moment. What he has is what he gets. But it looks like what he has is going to be enough to deal with the run by. And this, folks, the supplies, the army supply is starting to equalize. 47 army supply to 44. Ratatta never really doing a great job of rebuilding his economy. He's all in. He is heavily all in. MaxPax only on 31 workers, but he has the ability to rebuild. He's probing up here. Starks now moving forward. Immortals just dropping on top of these Roaches, trying to find again infinite value, or at least as much value as they can. But here comes the army of MaxPax marauding forward. It's a bunch of Stalkers, a bunch of Sentries, no +1. But the Immortals add a tremendous fire base to deal with as Adepts looking to do a good job defensively. Ratatta, there's no longer that big army supply lead that he had once before. Oh, big force fields. He's going to section off so much of this army, and Ratatta, he really does not have a much. What a freaking hold for MaxPax. He stays alive, and that means PSISTORM 4-2. They get their 3 points. Again, Good Game Gaming have had so many close weeks and just been on the losing end of all of them.